What up, family? We back at it again with another great episode. It's your boy E, and I'm with my brother.
Mario, let's get it.
And we back at it with another great episode of Kanes2Kicks. Today, we are about to talk about some of the drops that happened, man. So let's kick it off with let's talk about the AM that dropped, man. The threes, the AJ threes, as well as let's talk about the Air Force Ones, the 95s, Air Max 95s that dropped with that package. What are your thoughts on it? I know we kind of shared our thoughts about what they look like, but what's been your thoughts about the drop? What was your thoughts? Did you end up picking up some? How you feeling about the shoe? What's going on?
So yeah, this has been an ongoing topic for us. We've been talking about AAM, and I'm gonna just shorten it, abbreviate it. But we've been talking about AAM for a few weeks now, and the pack finally dropped. It was like you said, it was the threes, it was the 95s, and it was the Air Force Ones. And from my understanding, the threes are still there in the bigger sizes. The 95s are there in the bigger sizes, and I believe the Forces all sold out. And I thought the Forces was probably the best shoe in the collection. Then somewhere between the 95s and the threes. But overall, it was a good collection. And we talked about is AMM losing their mojo, right? Is it people are just getting tired of seeing the same type of silhouette? Just utilized a little different, right? Designed different. So I did not pick up any of the shoes. I do like the 95s though, since the Forces have sold out. I got a lot of the threes, and so you kind of just over that three look at this point. But I don't have any of the 95, so I think that would be a good piece to add to the collection. But as of now, I'm waiting on the Amamiyers, man. I might wait for a sneakers release, right? You might not have to pay shipping or something like that, and so. But it's just not on my radar right now. I thought it was a dope release. I do think people are getting a little tired with the same, silhouettes, but yeah, that's kind of how I feel about AMM. What's your thoughts on them?
So how I'm feeling, man, just by the on my narrative, man, it's just more of again, I want to see something different. I think it was great to be able to see that they released the Air Force, a 95 again, just to be able to see a three. I don't know, just felt like the same thing. Felt like the same shoe, just adding a different color. There
Yeah.
was nothing about the shoe that stood out to say like, oh man, like they tried something new and it worked. Um, it kind of goes back to your argument that you've been saying, in regards to Nike, even though this is not really a Nike, design, more of an AMM, type of design. I think again, you think that you've been doing great with the same, design, and you're like, oh, okay, people are going to still buy it, but you're not adding anything new. It's either a brown look, like this is the first time that you've added that blue for the diffusion blue, but it wasn't anything in that shoe that made me say like, oh man, this is a great shoe. This is just I feel like somebody kind of cheating off a test and being like, oh, look at what I did. I just colored it red and it was supposed to be, orange. Like, no, like
Hmm.
the same shoe. Like it's nothing really different. Don't get me wrong, you maybe something inside of the shoe that is different, maybe the satin, and stuff like that, maybe small details, but I just don't think that is a fantastic shoe, especially for the price of what they're asking for. On top of shipping, I do not think it's definitely worth that. But I hope that the 95 and the Air Force release on sneakers, where you can be able to get free shipping, because I feel like I would definitely add those to my collection in that regard.
Yeah,
But
no, for
like you
sure.
definitely great. Again, great rollout of the shoe. Again, I can't knock what they're doing because they are doing a great job with being consistent with dropping something in spring and in fall. And most people you don't really get that from, especially with a collaboration with Jordan or anything like that. So again, it's
Yeah.
great to be able to see that. Let's
And real
also
quick,
talk. But
real quick before you go on to the next topic, right? And I think another thing is with Amam and Yer, they've become very predictable, right? We know it exactly what we're going to get before we get it, right? And I think with your other boutiques and streetwear companies, like say Undefeated, for instance, right? Like they did the Nike Air Spiridon, right? Like maybe we want to see Amam and Yer tackle a different silhouette, and then we can be able to judge, their artistic capabilities, right? Their designing capabilities, because I think Undefeated, like they get even Supreme, bro, they get some tough shoes and they try to make the best out of it, right? Like Supreme did the Air Max rollout, right? And probably not your best, but I got to see those in person, and the quality is off the charts on them. And just the little type of designs and the little specific little trademarks they put in there are super dope. And so maybe if I'm on year, go back to the drawing board and say, hey, let's challenge ourselves. Let's get another silhouette, and then let's put a design on it. Let's bring our, those loyal customers, those loyal supporters. Let's see if we can get them back, into the mix. So just another thought I had on Mama Year. But yeah, go ahead to the next topic.
I mean, that again, I think the key component here is just talking about challenging
Yeah.
yourself to be better. Because ultimately you are already up there in regards to collabs. You have a great collab. People want to see something more. Can you do something with, again, not saying a basic shoe, but like again, a GT model that's getting ready to drop? Can you be able to do a nice collab with them?
Yeah.
Just to be able to, freak out the shoe, man. Make it where people want to wear that shoe outside of just the basketball court.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm with you, man. But you definitely threw out, a boutique that has a small drop for an iconic shoe. Again, that is my iconic shoe. So again, people want to comment.
Oh,
Again, you can see me. Um, you want to talk about undefeated and their raffle with the Kobe
yeah.
sixes,
No, for sure. So randomly, I
the,
forgot about
the blue Kobe, the blue Kobe.
the Dodger Kobe's, and I totally forgot that I had put raffles out there. I had a few people help me put some raffles in, and so a few days back, I got a notification. I got a text from my sister in law, pretty much saying that she won on the Kobe's for me, the Dodger colorway, which is super dope. So shout out to her for that. And yeah, bro. So the Kobe's is coming home real soon before release date. So shout out to Undefeated. Can't be mad at
Shout
that.
out, shout out, shout out. I mean, we can be mad at that because everybody didn't get that luxury. But it's okay, and we're here, we support. Let's go,
Hey,
go to
yeah,
go.
we're gonna make sure you
But
get a pair.
oh no, it's gonna happen. Hey, we put in work out there, man. But the one thing I do want to bring up as well, you also talked about just releases that are going out, man. And
Hmm.
one of the releases I want to talk about is the rare Jordan 1 blues that are getting ready to come out, man. Ended up actually seeing them in person. I actually will start taking pictures of them and just being able to put them on the pod. But I seen them in person, man, before their release date. Um, the one the one positive that I will say about that shoe, if you love Jordan ones, I think this is a great shoe. Especially if you love the black toe that just dropped. Great shoe, man. For me, I love the box. The box, the paper that it came in, amazing. Amazing effort that they're putting into a box rather than it just being the same box of what it was. As well, I love the blue colorway. I definitely do. But the one thing I did not like about the shoe, which again, this is just me, but I didn't like that on the Air Jordan wings, it doesn't say Air Jordan, it says Nike Air. Um,
Hmm.
Again, small detail, but for me, just loving shoes and the iconicness of what the shoe is, I did not like that aspect of it. And it kind of threw the shoe off with me. Again, I don't think I would be able to cop those because I'm not a fan. If I seen them on maybe Nike Outlet with an extra 30% off, on top of the price of going down, maybe. But just getting them to get them, no, man. I've learned to be able to buy what I like, and right now that is definitely not something that I would pick up.
For
Again,
sure.
different of what they tried, but I just think with them messing with the jump man, I'm sorry, not the jump man, the wings in the Jordan one, it's no, no, that's not something you should be doing. But for
Yeah.
yourself, have you seen any pictures? How are you feeling about them? Is that something that you're picking up? You're not picking up?
Yeah. Well, when you were getting your early look at them, you actually FaceTime me. I don't know if you remember, but and this is what I mean by Nike, bro. And I'm gonna take it there right now. I'm gonna take it there, bro. And this is exactly what I mean, right? So for one, they look like Nike. They look like knockoff unions in a sense, right? And so Nike, we don't want the knockoff union look. We want the unions, bro. So if you're going to make a shoe, make more unions. Don't make this knockoff looking type of Jordan 1. And then you don't even keep the OG wings on there. You put some other bull crap on there. Like, just knock it off. And then you wonder why you can't sell shoes. You wonder why marketing looks crazy. You wonder why sales are going down. You wonder why overall you're losing money every year for the last few years, right? So this is why, like you're making shoes that nobody is interested in. You're trying to make a off look of what the unions look like, and Nobody wants it. If you're going to do that, just make more unions and people will buy them. Don't give us this, this non traditional OG looking shoe, bro. And so I don't know. I'm just tired of Nike's okey doke trying to get over on, like, people who actually know shoes and trying to be, ultra creative and, create this look and this facade. Is like, yo, we got this new look on the AJ1. No, we don't want that, bro. We don't want that at all. So I'm not feeling them. They will not get nowhere on these 2 feet over here. Put it like that.
Man, you said something in that statement. And I think it goes back to what we've been talking about. Just challenge yourself. Challenge yourself, challenge yourself. Um, you you said something in regards to the union. Um, so I hear what you're saying about this shoe, but let me ask you, and again, this is kind of off topic, but I want to ask you, then how do you feel about the mochas and the Travis Scotts? Because technically that's the same thing of what Nike is doing, that they did with the mochas, but it actually was a hit. But for yourself, how are you feeling with that statement that you just used?
I think it's the color blocking. With the mochas, you get traditional color blocking, if that makes sense, like with the brown and the black and the white. But with these, I want to say, if I can remember, was the like the toe box blue,
Mhm.
and then the back heel was white, and then the upper was white, right?
I'm not mistaken. Yes.
I don't know. It was just a weird color blocking looking shoe, and I don't know if they were trying to color block it like the unions in a way, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling them, bro. I think brown is in style right now, so I think the mochas kind of get the pass, especially the mocha highs. They get a pass, right? So, but those, I don't know. I'm just not feeling them, man. I think Nike's doing a little bit too much with those.
So they were blue on the toe. The heel was blue on the back of the toe, but the upper echelon part where the wings are was white.
Okay.
So again, just the shoe, and again, we'll post it for you guys as well for you to see. But it, again, I'm with you. I think ultimately, if you are Nike and you're trying to do something different, you're trying to challenge yourself. Yeah, you are challenging yourself by doing something that is different, but this has to be a different shoe, man. If you are gonna put on more unions, put on more unions. That's all you got to do, and everybody would be happy with them. Instead of doing this and putting a whole bunch of shoes of Jordan ones that nobody really wants in that situation, unless you're a
Mm-hmm.
Jordan one. So that goes into the other discussion releases, man. What else is dropping, brother, that people need to be aware of?
Yeah, so you got the Udo SBs, which is a super dope drop. So there was a previous drop, which I know I've seen somebody calling them the original Udo SBs, and I was able to get my hands on there. And I want to say resale. Last I checked, it was going around 400 or 500 bucks on the resale market. So super dope shoe, man. This next colorway is called like Matcha or something like that, Matcha. And I think it drops this upcoming Saturday, which is the, let's see,
Upcoming Saturday is going to be the 5th.
the 5th, right? So be on the lookout for that. Super, super dope drop. You got to look at all your skateboarding shops. There's a lot of raffles out there, and so you're not going to find them like at your traditional Hibbits, Foot Lockers, and things like that. You got to look outside of the box. Hit up, like I said, hit up those skateboard shops and things like that. Put in a lot of raffles. Any raffles you see, put them in because it's going to be a tough release. Next, and I'm hearing rumors about this, so I don't know how true this is, but this is the Navy SB4s, and they're saying they can drop next week, but these are just rumors I'm seeing all over Twitter, so I don't know the exact drop date, but be on the lookout for that. And my thoughts on the Jordan SB4s, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about them. Right, I like the pine green ones were dope. The ones that just dropped was pretty dope. Then you had Nigel, he dropped his, and then now you got the SB navy blue ones. I don't know. I just think they're getting away from um, just like the originality of Jordan fours, right? Like you told the iconic story on our last episode about the bread fours and just the history behind it and why the Jordan 4 bread is what it is now, right? Like we got the reimagined ones about a year or two ago, and people were back and forth about the leather. I do like the leather look, but with that being said, there's a bigger reason why the Air Jordan 4 is the Air Jordan 4, and it's because of that story you told. And so if you have not seen it, go back, check out the last episode, and Elijah gives a dope story in the background behind that AJ4. So those are the drops that's been on my radar. And be on the lookout for them. I know sneakers may send out some notifications. It might be an early drop for the SB4s, but that's what's on the radar right now.
I appreciate you saying all that. I think for me, again, you can't go wrong with the SB, man. I've learned, and I think it's just being around you, being around my cousin, man, that love SBs, love Dunk. Um, I've learned to be able to just love them, man. They're affordable. They're not in a position where you're paying, 200 plus dollars, but you're paying something, in the range of 125 to maybe 175, depending on if it's a big collaboration or anything like that. So for me, again, I'll be looking out for the SBs, the AJs, man. I think at this point in time, I would want to, but I think right now it's not the right time for me to pick those up. And I think I'm okay with passing on those. Uh, what, I'm trying not to get off topic, but I really want to know your opinion because you said something as well, and I want to add on to that. You said the pine green ones, with the drop. How was your feelings when those dropped, and how was your feelings now with the AJ, with the blue ones getting ready to drop as well? Because
Yeah.
again, similar shoes. One, if I'm not mistaken, Danny, you can put me in a comment, but I believe the AJ Ford, the pine greens ended up winning shoe of the year that year that they dropped. What is the difference between those ones and a green shoe that we know Jordan hates green because of he hates being hating the Celtics? But sorry, that's a little, little fun fact for y'all.
Yeah.
But for that to be able to win and you not liking the blue, like what is the difference of why you might have liked the green ones if you did compared to the blue?
Yeah, so truthfully, I thought it was going to be like a one-off, right? I thought this was going to be the pine greens, and then we was going to be done with it. And then you move on to now you got the Nike Bike Airs with Nigel, and so I get it, right? I think Nike is trying to be more broad with their releases. They're trying to hit different markets now, skateboarding, biking, and things like that, right? Not even just basketball. So I get it why they're doing it on their end, but just from a personal preference, like I didn't get the pine green SB4s because I wasn't huge on those, but I thought it was just cool to see that, right? You get your Nike Dunk SBs, and then you see the four, and I'm like, cool, that's pretty dope, right? But to keep going on and on with it, it's a bit much for me. I'm not really into it. I don't want to rock skateboarding Air Jordan 4s. Like that just sounds crazy to me. Skateboarding Air Jordan 4s, right? Air Jordan 4s for biking, right? So I don't know, bro. It's personal preference at the end of the day. I'm just not into them. I don't own any of them, and I probably won't own any of them. So personal preference.
I got you. I think again, man, from what you just said, personal preference. I think again, when we talk about the West Coast, we talk about the East Coast, we talk about South, we talk about up north. I want to know. You just went to the East right now, man. I want to know your experience. What did you see out there? Because again, we're talking about personal preference with everything. What did you see out there that was different?
Yeah.
What did you visit that you seen that was maybe different than maybe some LA shop? Just so our fans that maybe haven't went to the East Coast in regards to New York or anything on the East, what was the difference that you seen, on people?
Yeah, no, so for sure. So pretty much, man, I got a chance to go out to Brooklyn, New York. I got to visit with my brother, and it was a dope experience, man. We hit up a lot of the like skateboarding shops. We hit up. So I'm gonna tell you the names of the stores we hit up. So we hit up Adidas, and I did get to grab some dope Adidas. I got the James Harden joints. Super excited about these, man. You know how I feel about Adidas right now, with just a futuristic look. So super clean shoe. I mean, it's dope, man. I can't, and I got to see my brother hooping these, and that's what pretty much pushed me to go grab them. I'm like, oh, dude, those look good on feet. They look good on the court. He was rocking them, and he actually played pretty well in them. So he gave Boston the business in these, and so I said, let me go ahead and grab those and put those in the collection. So super dope shoe, man. Shout out to my brother Max for those, and then I ended up getting some more AEs, and so my last AEs, I told you I didn't like the fit. I ended up donating them, and so those were a size 11. A size 11 and a half. So I got a size 12. They fit better, but they're still a little tight. So Again, personal preference is not, it's not the best fit for me. It's a better fit, but it's not the best fit, if that makes sense, just because I got a bigger size. So they're still tight in this area for me, but overall, this is a super dope shoe. Super dope shoe.
Nice
Adidas
silhouette.
Adidas did their things when they were, using their creative spirits to get the James Hardens and the AE ones going. I mean, they're dope, man. I love the uniqueness. I love the innovation. And so super dope shoe. So yeah, man, we hit Adidas up. They had a lot of dope stuff in there. And so Adidas out there compared to the Adidas store here, right? The Adidas store there is huge. I don't know if you remember, but like think about East Coast, right? They're rocking the Adidas jumpsuit, right, with your superstars, right? So you see cats wearing their Adidas and stuff like that, and so I think there's a bigger market, on the East Coast for Adidas than it is here. I will say, you see people in there shopping like crazy for Adidas. When you go to the Adidas store on the Strip here, it's not a lot of people in there, especially locals, right? You got a few tourists in there because it's on the Strip, but out there, they're in their stores, bro, and they're shopping. So obviously, fashion is really a thing out there. We got the hit up Kith, and shout out to the staff at Kith, New York, man. That was a dope experience. My pops was with me too, and my pops went crazy in the Kith store. He picked up some clean stuff. Max was putting him on game and got him right. So I think I picked up a beanie or something, but it was just the experience, man. We always see Kith, just through like the internet and Twitter and things like that, but to actually go into the store and shop around, look around, shake some hands, meet some people, it was a super dope experience. And so shout out to them. And then we hit up Supreme. Now, Supreme is kind of one of my favorite streetwear companies right now. Been wearing it for a long time. And when I first pulled up, right, and so I was staying in Brooklyn, and we went to the Supreme in Manhattan. And so my first day, we drove by Supreme. And when I say the store on the outside of the building, it's huge, but it's graffitied up, right? It looked like a homeless building, right? Like people were like kicking in the door and they're sleeping in there, they're lodging in there, just to have some shelter, right? And so the next day we pull up and Max looking at he's like, "Are you sure this is the right store?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm positive this is the right," because all you see is graffiti everywhere. And so we get out and we walk in, and so obviously the inside looks much different than the outside looks, right? The looks can be deceiving, right? Don't judge a book by its cover. And so once you get inside, it's nice, right? They got their Supreme apparel everywhere. They had the Supreme, the
Air
Nike
Max.
Air Max ones in there. I was getting ready to grab the black ones. They didn't have my size. They only had a size 11. They did have the white ones in my size, but I wasn't into the all white pair of shoes. So I didn't get any shoes there, but it was just, again, it was a super dope experience. We had fun in there. From there, we went to Bape. Bape was super dope store. For me, Bape is just overly expensive. I don't know why. Like overly expensive. But just seeing all those street brand stores, in the center of Manhattan and walking around and you seeing guys in the Galaxy phones with his Supreme hoodie, like they literally wear this. Like it's no joke. Like they wear their shoes, right? Like, you see people who hoard their shoes, who get them for show, but out there, bro, they're rocking their shoes. And so when you talk about New York, you literally have to associate it with fashion. You have to associate it with sneaker wear. You have to associate it just with, all that stuff that comes with fashion. Then lastly, we hit up Stussy, which is one of my favorite stores. I've been wearing Stussy probably since you've known me, and I did pick up a exclusive New York tee from Stussy. And I did get a cool contact there, man. The gentleman there was super nice, man, and it was a fun experience. So I don't know if you remember, or maybe you probably weren't even living in Las Vegas at the time, but we had a Stussy that was on the Strip next to Undefeated. But long story short, man, got to get in Stussy, check out the store. It was super dope. Got an exclusive New York tee that they only sell at that chapter store, which is super dope, right? So just like a little keepsake. But overall, man, the experience in New York was dope. Looking forward to going out there again and, just having some fun shopping and, just experiencing that New York culture, that New York fashion and things like that. So I tip my hat to New York. It was a dope experience, bro.
Man, I won't lie to you, man. Just hearing the experience from you was great. Especially off air as well. Again, me going to New York, man, I didn't get to stay in New York that long. I was only in New York for like 45 minutes. That's what it felt like, but it was like a day. And man, you could definitely tell in regards to just the culture being different. But people are wearing their shoes. Again, it is a fast paced, type of area, depending on
Mm-hmm.
where. get it. And people are very about their business. You know what I mean? They're going about, they're doing what they got to do, and they're done. They're in a position where they're kind of just looking forward and being able to kind of just concentrate on what their task at hand. So
Absolutely.
again, difference, from east to west, but again, man, definitely love my time out there as well. So to be able to hear you, it actually, kind of lets me know that okay, maybe I got to go out there again just
Oh
to be
yeah.
able to kind of time. So yeah, man, I think again the reason why I wanted you to kind of tell your experience is I think so many people we stay on the West Coast, and we don't go, to the East, or maybe some of us can't, afford it in that situation to go to the East. But if you can, this is the type of experience that you'll be able to experience, man. And don't get
Mm-hmm.
me wrong, I'm a West Coast kid,
Yeah.
but again, it's being able to experience. I feel like when we go to a different, and it's kind of something you told me earlier this week, but it's like when we go to a different state, it feels like we're going to a different country, because again, the culture is different. The people are different. When I went to North Carolina, that's what it felt like. It felt like I was in a different country, man. I was able to, even though it's a different state, but it felt like a different country of where you're at because you're ultimately of what I'm used to, the things that I'm used to seeing, I'm not seeing anymore, and it's different type of people, different type of environment. So
Yeah.
again, man, thank you for sharing that because I think, man, so many people will need to hear that just in regards to just how things were, man.
For sure.
Uh, so I want to ask you, man, getting into a little bit of sports. There was a call out not too long ago from Brandon Jennings at Gill Arena. He ended up calling out a lot of individuals. So Brandon Jennings, man, is a former NBA star. If you look at his high school mixtape, oh Jesus, he's probably had one of the top mixtapes as a high school, basketball player, man, that I enjoyed watching. But Brandon Jennings, man, played in the league a couple years. Did phenomenal job, man. Dropped 50. He's done some iconic things, man, where he was at. But I want to ask you. He put a challenge out to other individuals such as um, Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams, to I believe Ty Lawson. These are other individuals that he's put, just one-on-one matchups with. The
Yeah.
pot has now increased by underdog all the way up to potentially $100,000.
Oh wow.
How are you feeling about this call out?
Yeah.
And what are you? Is this necessary to have? Is this not? Is this something that as a basketball player like yourself that you want to be able to see? Or
Yeah.
is this something that players is just being players right now?
Yeah. Well, all these guys are really good in their own right. You know what I'm saying? Like Brandon Jennings was, like I told you, one of my favorite high school players. Like, I mean, he was phenomenal, bro. And when I say phenomenal, I mean phenomenal. I got to see him play in person, and he was treating high school kids. It was like a man above boys type of situation, right? And then you see him pioneer from high school to overseas, right? He was the first to do that. And so seeing Brandon Jennings in the NBA, he was really good. Didn't have the career that I thought he would have as far as long term. Because if you can see, he's still in shape, right? He can still move, and so my expectations is for him still to be in the NBA as that veteran role model, but he's not. And so he went at guys like Jeff Teague, who was good in his own right. Lawson, who's really good in his own right. I seen him play in high school too. He was super dope. Nick Young, I don't personally think that defensively, Brandon Jennings can do much with these guys. Brandon Jennings is tiny. He's little, bro. And so offensively, he can hold his own, but defensively, I mean, he's gonna be put in the dog shed, bro. He's gonna be getting tortured out there. When you talk about who's the other guy who's on sports broadcast? I forget the name that you mentioned, but between
Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams.
yeah, he
Uh,
can't do nothing with Jamal Crawford. He can't do nothing with Lou Williams. He can't do nothing with Nick Young, big stuff. Nick Young is way too big for him. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a hit miss. Is it fun for TV? Absolutely. And so we'll see how it goes. But it's gonna be a battle because it ain't gonna be no walking apart from Brandon Jennings. Now I can tell you that these guys are NBA players, bro. You ain't finna walk in the park and think you finna, go at Jamal Crawford can hoop still. Lou Will can hoop, bro. These guys can hoop. They're NBA players, and so Brandon Jennings, man, he kind of putting himself in a situation to where if he don't win it, because he's talking a lot, if he don't win it, he gonna be out here looking crazy. So I'm excited to see more about it. I'm excited. What you
so,
think?
so he's been putting in two a days, is what he said when he was on Gill Arena
I
on say he said he's been trying to get work in. One of the things I was watching KG's podcast with Paul Pierce, and he said they were like listing off players. Paul Pierce is like, man, I want to get in that. And one of the things that Brandon Jennings has been kind of doing at his advantage, this isn't his advantage. He said basically it's only a 3 dribble 1-on-1. So basically you
Mm,
got, you only got basically one move in the situation, maybe one, possibly two, to be able to make your move and shoot. Is that a good thing? That's more of his advantage because he doesn't have to go in a position where I'm in a low post and somebody's, like Paul Pierce can be able to just catch it and do his thing. No, you got to be able to, you know, break that. But
yeah.
they were throwing out people and they said ISO Joe. Was like, nah, no. That's
Yeah,
one person
no,
we don't because
no, for
ISO Joe.
sure.
So again, man, what I love to see it. Yeah, I'm excited just to be able to see what they have going on because I think it's going to allow them to kind of build a platform. It could either go with the big three, and something that could be part of the big three tournament, and what they have and build that brand with the big three. Or they could be able to do something on their own that they're doing in the off season that is allowing players that have to retire to still be able to, get a bag, as they would say, while playing in a different league and fans being able to see that, man. So
Yeah,
um,
for sure.
I definitely like it, man. We're gonna see what it comes from.
Yeah.
But you got the next question. So what you feeling right now?
Well, you sent me a picture of some Kobe's, right? So Kobe released a little black pair. They was numbered. Some was numbered, some wasn't numbered of the Kobe Forces. Then they had a white pair of the Kobe Forces. Super dope, right? And I thought that was it, right? I thought we was getting some exclusive Kobe's, some Forces, and that was it. Now I'm seeing pictures surface of Kobe collection way of Forces. What is your thoughts on that? And are you going to grab them? I already know my answer, I believe, but what's your thoughts on that?
So we talked about this. Am I a fan of them? Yes, but not all colorway. I don't want to see every single colorway with Kobe because it just doesn't work out. But what I do want to see is I want to see the details. The reason why the black ones are better than the white ones that have released right now is because one, they had the number in there, so you were only having a certain amount. Bam. They had the Mamba logo all on the shoe. Bam, differently. They had just the small details on the black one. Don't get me wrong, the white ones are cool. They're a nice shoe to wear, but they're not a shoe that I would want every. I don't want the same type of shoe. I want something different. That's the
Right.
reason why the black Mamba ones are different. So if they're not adding that, I think besides maybe the gray and baby blue ones that they had, that has been circling, I would want those and maybe the black and purple. That's about it. Like other than that, it's not a situation where I want all these Air Forces. It had some that were purple, all purple, and I was like, oh, bro, like it just does not fit of
Right.
what the shoe is supposed to be. And the shoe is supposed to be a casual shoe that you can be able to wear, but you're just supporting Kobe in the casualness that you're wearing. So
Yeah.
again, my answer would be depends, but for the four waves that I did see, I think it was a dark gray and baby blue and the black and purple. Yeah, I would get those two, but the other ones that I was seeing like purple, there was another color. I was like, no, it does not. You're running out of ideas in this situation.
For sure. For sure. I personally think it's a bit excessive. And I say that because I like Kobe. I like Kobe's to be exclusive. Like Kobe's passed away, and the one thing I don't want to see is Kobe forces sitting all over the stores. They're in. They're at the Nike
Fashion,
store at the
yeah,
at the
like
Nike store
outlets.
because the Nike outlets because they can't sell. That's the last thing I want to say. I mean, I want to see. So I just think Vanessa needs to put her foot down and tell Nike, like, pump your brakes, right? Like, we're not going to get into a situation to where we're just flooding the market with Kobe forces, right? Like, we like pro trolls, right? We want to see more pro trolls. We like the exclusivity of them, and we like the idea that we're still being able to see Kobe's on the court. Casually, I really don't care about seeing Kobe's casually. Kobe wasn't a casual guy. Kobe was about business, bro. And so I don't want to see all these Kobe's, all these different colorways, all in the streets, all in the Nike stores. Because they're not going to sell out, bro. Let's just be candid. They're not going to sell out, dude. I just know it for a fact. It's too many colors. They're not going to be exclusive, and Nike's just trying to find ways to sell more shoes. And Kobe's not the way, bro. So I don't know. It's more of like a sentimental thing. It's like don't do my boy like that. Like he's already not here. We already got the Kobe Pro to come back. At first we couldn't get too many models. Now we're starting to see that. And let's leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Like let's leave the Kobe legacy exclusive. Let's leave the Kobe legacy undefeated, right? Let's leave the Kobe legacy on the court. And so I don't want to see the market flooded with all these different colors of Kobe forces. I'm just not into that.
Yes, I feel like what you just said is perfect because they will be sitting. You look at the white Kobe's right now; they're sitting. If you go to some websites, they're still sitting. I'm not saying they're sitting in the big sizes, but they're sitting in small sizes. Like I just found a 4.5 on the On My Air website. Like, come on, man. Like again, I get you, and that's the reason why I said the detail. That's the reason why the black sold out because of the detail. If you're adding details and it's just not, you're throwing an 8 on, you're throwing, the Mamba symbol on. No, but you're adding the Mamba symbols all over the shoe. You're adding details inside the shoe, making it different. Yes, you're gonna get a lot of more exclusivity in that situation. But if you're just throwing a generic shoe out there, like it's the reason why the team Jordan or the team Kobe's didn't sell out
Right.
because ultimately that wasn't really something that everybody wanted. It
Yeah.
wasn't an exclusive type of pair. So again, I'm with you with that, man. But let's wrap up. We talked about this, the beginning of it was March Madness. We talked about the things that are going on, man. How are you feeling about March Madness? If you want to talk about the men's, we can talk about the men's. If you want to talk about the women's, how are you feeling just about it, man? Again, my bracket is I don't even got a bracket because it's just messed up as much as it did. But how are you feeling just in regards to the men's tournament and the women's tournament?
So let's start with girls. So my bracket is alive still. I told you I had South Carolina and they're hanging on now. South Carolina hasn't been winning by 10, 15 points. They're winning by 2, 4. But that's the point of March Madness, right? You know, close games, down to the wire, and you executing and you're winning the game. So shout out to South Carolina because we all know that once you get into this time, you start to move to the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight, it gets tougher. And so South Carolina is still holding it down. Huge shout out to Juju. I see she tore her ACL, and I just hated to see that, man. She was thriving. She was doing good. So prayers out to her, man. Speedy recovery, and can't wait to see her back on the court
I mean,
next year.
definitely. I was happy to see USC pull out the win
They
without her,
did.
man.
Yep.
Smith over there did her thing. I believe it's Kennedy Smith. She did her thing. You had Kiki over there, man. Kiki was a transfer from Stanford. Came over,
Okay.
man. She's balled out with them, man. And again, don't get me wrong. I think they're gonna miss a star like Juju, but for them to get a win in a tournament like that without her, that lets you know what they were playing for. One of the things that I was seeing in their game yesterday, they had her bobblehead on
Mm,
the floor just to represent her there. After they won, she actually was on FaceTime with the players. She was taking pictures, and again, she looked like she's in great spirit.
good.
Again, man, we definitely sending prayers her way. Just with everything going on, man, an ACL injury like Paige Bucket said, man, one of the things is you're going to find out who you are after you tear your ACL, because again, you're with yourself a lot in this recovery process. And so, man, I think, man, she's going to come back more of a beast, as you see, with Paige Buckets, dropping 40 a couple nights ago. Man, doing an amazing thing. She has declared early for the draft. I believe the Golden State Vol- Volcarons, if I'm not pronouncing it right, have the number one pick from the Bay Area. And I believe she will be the number one pick going there. So again, unless somebody else is coming out early, I believe again that is a great pick for them to be able to design their whole team around, to be
Yeah.
able to design just everything, man. Especially with the veterans that they have over there and Kate Martin, um, it's gonna look great. So let's just say
Yeah.
that, man. Again,
And
excited,
shout out.
but
Sorry to cut you off, but shout out Paige Buckner. She went out for 40 yesterday, I want to say. I mean, was out there hooping. So I know you just mentioned her, but shout out to her, man. She went off the other day. So, but yeah, man, good for Juju. I hope she does become that number one pick and end up in the Bay Area. That's solid for
yep.
you. I know you like that.
Again, man, but still Aces fan. But still we will be repping, for the Bay out there, man. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
again, man,
yeah.
shout out to Paige, bro. Again, dropping that 40. But most importantly, man, just declaring early. So again, she doesn't have to, have this tough decision when she gets done, but letting people know like, yo, I'm ready. That also lets, teams like again, Golden State know, hey, when my first round pick comes, we can design our team by. So
Yeah.
again, great to see again men's. It has been some great games. Haven't really caught a lot of it. Have seen Duke pull it out. Tennessee just won not too long ago. Um, just to be able to see those have been good, man. So I'm excited just to be able to see and move forward with that tournament going on, man. Anything you want to add with the men's
Absolutely.
tournament?
No, man, I think that was it, man. A shout out to Houston. They got a local kid from Vegas on there, point guard. I believe Max played with him coming up in AAU days, and so he's doing his thing. And man, I know you mentioned about just the knee injuries and just what comes with that, as far as from a mentality standpoint. Because once Max is traded from the Lakers into Brooklyn, first game he fractures his knee, and so he's out for a few weeks, almost a few months, I want to say. And just that recovery period, mentally, physically, spiritually, where you have to be at, and so. I can only imagine where Juju is because I remember where Max was. But with any setback, there's a big overcoming. There's a big bounce back from it. So shout out to her. Prayers go out to her. And we just, obviously Elijah and I, we're praying for all these student athletes to have, a successful, March Madness college career and on to their professional career. So shout out to them.
Yes, sir. As well, I was wrong. Let me put a little out there as we wrap up. Houston actually beat Tennessee. So again, Houston is going on to play Duke in the next round. So again, that's going to be a great game to see.
I think that's today.
But yep, it was today. But the as we wrap up, bro, I want to be able to just give a big shout out, man, just to the family for supporting. Man, our subscribers have went up like crazy. Communication in regards to comments, reposts, especially with Air Max Day, man, we had some people that gave a shout out. So shout out to everyone that we reposted. Shout out to everybody that has participated with us, man. And just man, thank you. And if you have not, man, please subscribe, repost, tell a friend, remix us on YouTube where you want to add us, in our background and be able to kind of talk about it. We are great. We're okay with feedback, and we're happy to be a part of the journey. So please make sure that you are reposting, reblogging, whatever you want to do. Get it out there to your friends and family, man. So Mario, finish this off with some words, man.
So yeah, man, y'all go out and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll be posting this episode, and I hope you have some good, some knowledge, some nuggets, some sneaker nuggets. I hope you enjoyed the talk, the experiences from New York, and any feedback is welcome. And we want you to share some moments with us. Go out there and engage with the Instagram, the YouTube, and have some fun with it. Tag us, repost us, and we'd love to hear from you. And we out.